Hey everyone, Alex Bennett here at the PGA Tour Performance Center at TBC Sawgrass. This series here is all about rebalancing your body. It's all about the relationship between your pelvis and your rib cage. If you feel like you have a lot of imbalances or you feel like your left side's stronger than your right side, this is going to be a really good series for you to work on. Also, if you're very advanced and you're in really good shape, this would be a great series just to warm up. If you're on the road, traveling, you feel like you're just kind of a little bit out of alignment. Really good for activations, really good to get you going. So I hope you guys enjoy. So we're going to be dealing with very limited equipment. I'm literally only going to be using a band, one band. So it's easy to travel with, makes it easy on you guys. So the first thing we want to do is just get that posterior chain fired up, especially these hamstrings. And we want to make sure we are equally activating the right and the left, equal strength in the right and the left, because that has a lot to do with how your pelvis is going to sit and react, and it actually goes all the way up the chain to your shoulders if you want healthy shoulders. So we're just going to lay down. I want you to feel that posterior tuck. We're using those low abs to kind of drive the pelvis in, and then we're going to bridge up. You can put the arms out to the side. You can hold the arms up if you want a little more challenge, but we're just going to hold it for like a 5 Mississippi. And then we're going to come down, keep the hips up. We're going to hold it. Really feel those hammies. You also want to feel that glute of the leg that's down. If you feel like this is too challenging and you feel like you cramp, then we can hold it for a little less. But we really want to focus on the strength and stability of the hips and the activation of the hamstrings. I can feel my left hamstring. It's definitely a little weaker than my right, which is very common amongst righties. And if you feel like you're really slanted to the right all the time, like your right shoulder sits a little lower than the left, this is definitely an important move for you because that can start all the way down at the hamstrings. Good. So now we're going to do a half kneeling stance. We're going to hook up this red band just below shoulder height. And when we get in this kneeling stance, kind of flatten that foot, tuck the hip underneath you so that right here, my right knee's down, my right glute is squeezed, core is tight, and we're just going to punch. And we're just doing a press. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in that right quad, right hip flexor. You can do this with a cable machine. You don't have to do it with a band. But we want to keep that tension in the right glute, keep that neutral pelvis. We're in that what's called a posterior tuck. If our pelvis was a bucket of water, we feel like we're dumping the water out of the back. We're going to do 10 reps. I have no clue if that was 10. Terrible at counting and talking at the same time. So tuck the hips, squeeze the glute. We're just pressing out. So same idea as the punch, but now we're going into the row. And obviously you can see we're doing one side at a time, really promoting balance. So same thing, we're gonna get into that posterior tuck, squeeze that right glute, right arms out. We're real upright, core is engaged. And we're just rowing and keeping that glute activated and keeping the hips tucked. Really stable core midsection. Stable pelvis. And then we're going to switch sides. Same idea, tuck the hips. If this bothers the knee, get a pad, a pillow, yoga mat, anything like that. We just want to make sure on this side we're squeezing that left glute and really tucking those hips. Feel that engagement in the pelvis and the core. So now we're going 2 knees down, same thing. We're getting into that posterior tuck. We're working that pelvis underneath, squeezing those glutes, core is engaged. We're gonna keep it there and we're gonna rotate. Arms stay wide. You're gonna feel a lot of tension in the core here. And try to make sure you don't lose that tuck. Keep squeezing those glutes. And we're gonna flip over and do the other side. So this is a great bear crawl variation. We're gonna do 20 total, so it's 10 on each. So as we lift the left arm, right leg will come up, right arm, left leg will come up, but you stay in that tabletop, that bear crawl position. So we're just gonna be here. Just hold it for 1, 2, 1, 2. A lot of engagement in the core. Shoulders are strong, pushing the ground away from you. So we're gonna do a plank variation with shoulder taps. Try not to walk the feet too wide. Don't make it too easy on yourself. We really wanna engage the core, keep the pelvis from sinking one way to the other as we tap. So we're gonna get right here, kind of tuck underneath. Try to almost feel like you're squeezing those glutes. We're gonna push the ground away and tap. And try not to feel like you're shifting a ton of weight. You're gonna have to shift some, but try not to feel like you're going back and forth that way. We're trying to stay centered. Keep that core tight.